Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Friday, December 5th, 2025. I, of course, am Hammer, founder of Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. 3 great products to help you be a better originator, get more loans from Google and social media. I also have the hiccups, which I'm killing off this morning. So remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, broadcasted to you on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching the replay, don't forget, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. If you would like to join me live and you want a reminder to come to your phone, sign up on our text list, hmmr.io/reminder, or use this cool QR code over here. While you're signing up for things, if you're not signed up for our email, our daily email that goes out, it's absolutely free. Make sure you spread the word. Share this with other originators. ratelockadvice.com. Also, this cool QR code over here. If you'd like to sign up for our text alerts, twice a day in the morning and in the afternoon, we send out an text message letting you know what's going on with the markets, where we think things are going and how they're ending for the day. Also, if there is risk of reprices, you could get notified and protect your pipeline. Check them out at ratetextalerts.com. So with that said, let's go ahead and say hi to all the live folks. Who's here this morning? We've got James Mahan here this morning. Good morning, sir. Hope you're having a great Friday. Sean Segaloff, what's up, man? It's Hammer Claus, baby. I'm not Santa. Hammer Claus. Rob Stewart, good morning. Deb Dickinson, great to have you here. It is a quiet run this morning. Did the text message go out that I'm here? Let's see. Yeah, it went out. Okay. All right. Everything's working. Just everyone's not working. Good morning, Mallory Fotiados. Remember, y'all, save the date. The reason I picked December 30th, it's probably the absolute best day that you can be just totally focused on something, because I don't like to do it Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, because hopefully you're still in family mode and I don't want to take away from that family time. But when you're that week between Christmas and New Year's is always a quiet week, but yet you're still kind of, you're kind of familyed out. You've already done the holidays. I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but it is majority. I don't know when Hanukkah is this year. I got to get my lazy ass out. Look, I think it's in the middle of Hanukkah starts. I can't see. When is... calendar's too far away. Anyone know when Hanukkah is? Let me know in the comments. I can Google it in a minute. But anyway, that's all we got. Megan Bissell, good morning. Yasmin Martin, great to have you here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Jump into it. Segalov said he thinks Hanukkah is on the 14th. So anyway, yeah, you kind of get familyed out by then. So I think it's a great time. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Yesterday, mortgage bonds, it was a bit choppy after pricing came out right here. I sent out an alert because we were losing ground and it looked like we may be in a spot where lenders would reprice worse. There were a handful of reprices, really not many. That's because things recovered pretty quickly after that. But you can see, we're up, we were kind of down, way down, back up, then kind of drifted down, then kind of came up, ended the day right around the same level as where we started the day. Things were quiet, no big deal, nothing that you had to worry about there. This morning, we're basically right around that same level, 119, not too far off, just a couple of basis points. That could change in a little while. It's 9:40 right now, and at 10 a.m., we're going to see PCE inflation data. What? PCE inflation data at 10 a.m.? Doesn't that come out at 8:30, Hammer? Normally it does. Don't know why. Just one of those things, right? Rob, a link will go out to sign up for the planning session. I have to finish the sign up thing. I might send out an email later today just with a quick link for those that want to get in, but I have to finish the sign up page and all the stuff that goes with it. So, but yeah, I'll be sending it out. That's why I keep telling you about it ahead of time so that, that you're ready for it. And there'll be early bird sign up at a discounted price. It'll be $67. And then those that wait till the last minute to sign up will pay $97. So I think it's well worth it. I think if you pay for it, you also take it more seriously. And this year I have a twist. Number one, I have a guest who's going to, I think, bring a tremendous amount of value to it. Number two, we're going to be using AI a little bit to do this. And I don't want you to get intimidated, because what I'm doing is I'm working on building a GPT that you guys can use during the workshop, which will give us a finished document so that you leave with a vision plan, a success plan in your hand at the end of the workshop that you are ready to roll with. I think it really, really will help this year. So I'm excited about that. I think there are uses for AI. I know I'm an anti-AI guy, but there are definitely uses for AI. So anyway, as we get through the rest of this stuff here, let me put the stuff up on the screen the right way. So quick recap. Bonds were a little bit choppy yesterday, end of the day. About the same as when pricing came out. There were a handful of reprices worse. Today, about the same. We're up, that whopping 1 basis point as stop moving the thing where there it is. So, son of a bitch. It keeps snapping the window to maybe if I just do this. And let me make it a little smaller. There we go. All right. So anyway, here you are. So we are, basically at that same level. 10-year treasury yield, 4.11. As long as it's right around 4.10, we're right around that same area. Today's calendar, like I said, the PCE data and consumer sentiment comes out at 10 a.m. So we'll see how that affects things, but the data is stale. We're talking September data. We're in December. I don't think markets are going to be that really responsive to it. PCE data has been so blah anyway. And because this is September, we did get September CPI data. If you remember, it seems like an eternity ago, but it came in slightly better than expected, that CPI data. And the reason we got CPI data during the government shutdown, if you remember, was because they needed it for Social Security cost of living increases. So this data, the PCE data is different than CPI, but this, it kind of gives a precursor. So I don't think we're going to see this. Inflation is as stale as Amy Schumer's comedy. Anyone an Amy Schumer fan? Anyone not an Amy Schumer fan? It's funny. She gets on my nerves. She's just one of the, I don't think she's funny. I think she's crass and I think she's annoying. I don't find her funny at all. But repurchase on the day is low. Once we get our rate sheets and we get through that 10 a.m. data, things will settle down. We won't see much. And as we head into Monday, there's really not anything we need to worry about heading into Monday. Monday will be a quiet day as well. Next week, we've got the Fed meeting, and I think that's going to be, the big thing. So the Fed outlook right now, markets are still pricing in the idea that we are going to, let me wiggle this around so we can get this in a better, there you are. So markets are still pricing in the idea of a cut in December. I mean, almost a 90% expectation. That's not going to change between now and next week. But Randy said, doesn't the Fed always look through the rearview mirror? That's an argument that, any data, Randy, is, but not that far back. You want to see where have things gotten in November. And to kind of get into that and answer that a little bit more, I don't know if you guys, does everyone get my email for the rate lock stuff? Here is, how do I get this to go out in a separate window? Or let me just make this bigger and I'll move it over. Hold on a minute. So here's my email. I've kind of really dialed in this format, like the rate outlook for today and the rate outlook for the next 15 days and 15 to 30 and 30 plus. And then the kind of the lock advice in red and what I think is happening with rates. This is I like to change it up sometimes. And, this is kind of what I think is really, I think this is a good format. Let me know in the comments if you guys that get this like this format. So, I said for anything closing the next 15 days, still a good time to lock the loans. Not a huge urgency to do so. Nothing has really changed. Rate sheets are near the best levels that we've seen. That has not changed. If you take a look here, 6.24, 6.23, anything 6.2, look at this. I mean, 6.22, 6.20. These are all, we're basically 6.25 in that same level. The only time we were better was 6.13. If we flip these off here and we bring this around to here, I mean, right here before the last Fed meeting, we were at 6.13 for like 5 seconds. It was one day. That was the absolute, door knocking best. And it was also what we saw before the previous Fed meeting. So as crazy as that is, That's what we see is these little blips right before the Fed meeting. So arguably, if you want to wait a little bit, we could maybe come down right before the Fed meeting, and that may be when you want to snipe shoot that. If you're looking to kind of see about catching a falling knife and getting things at their best pricing, it could come next week right before the Fed meeting. So I could be a little conservative in the idea that, that I would just lock because loan's closing in 15 days. However, if we take a look here, and I'll send this over, the BLS jobs data, that data gets released on the 16th. So it's less than 2 weeks from now. That is a Tuesday. Really, the dates that they picked really kind of mess it. We're used to getting it on a Friday. It's going to come in on a Tuesday. And then only a couple of days later on Thursday, the 18th, we're going to get the CPI inflation data. So, and that will be more relevant because that's going to have October and November mixed in for both of those. So you're going to see some of the October data mixed in and with those reports. So that week is, if there was any week that we were going to see rates improve, it's going to be the third week of December, when the week that we get this data. Before that, I don't think it happens. So that's why I'm in the same kind of position where I have been, where the idea is, hey, let's go ahead and, I would be locking, I'll throw up here, I would be locking anything closing in the next couple of weeks. I just don't think that we need to take the risk on this. Anything that's got more time, though, I would float. We want to see how the Fed meeting plays out. I wouldn't panic, because even if we see things jump, again, risk averse loans that are closing closer to the 15 mark than the 30-day mark, you can lock these, because I do think we're going to see rate sheets get worse after the Fed meeting next week. But we could see the door is open when we get that jobs data on the 16th and the CPI data on the 18th. That could be a week where we see things improve. Rates are not going to move much lower from here, and they're certainly not going to stay much lower than where they are now. There's no reason, when we look at bonds and look at the labor market, the job market, when we look at the economy, there is no reason to expect rates to be able to move significantly lower. Even if there's talk of a Fed rate cut in January, it will help rates at the best levels that we've seen, but it's still going to be maybe an eighth better than where we're at today. You're not going to see rates that drop into 5.5, but arguably, we could see conventional conforming stuff. If we want to argue that that's currently at 6.25, it could get down to 6, maybe 5.99 if we get really low inflation, if we get really weak jobs data, if there's expectations, arguments, oh boy, the Fed's going to have to cut in January. Right now, it's a 25% expectation. I think after the Fed meeting, this is going to disappear altogether. And I think that we will see Fed futures price in the idea of the Fed staying at the 6 or 3.5 mark. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Randy said, Greg said Chuck Schumer is funnier. Yeah. That's a good one, Greg. Greg, you're funnier. All right, Randy, doesn't the Fed always look through the rear mirror? Yeah, but again, they're using old data to try to figure out where they think things are going, looking for trends, and they have things. If we lock now, we'll have to deal with realtors saying the Fed lowered mortgage rates. Yeah, that's certainly, but that's an opportunity to reach out on those loans and say, hey, listen, we're locking. You may think this, it's already priced in, have that conversation. It's hard though. People don't get it. But if you wait until the Fed lowers rates may jump. And I think that's what we're going to see next week. We've seen it the last 2 Fed meetings. I don't have the dates here in bonds, but I would argue it's probably right here. Let's see, October 29th. I don't remember when the last Fed meeting was, but I would say that was probably it right here, because that's when we have a drop. And in September, we had the same thing happen. And you could see that one over here. And it kind of led to a, longer term. This one led to a longer term. Then it comes back up. Then it comes back up. And guess what? I think we're going to see the same thing happen again. I think you're going to see after the Fed meeting, rates are going to, you guys aren't seeing that. Let me pull this over. I think you're going to see that same thing. I think you're going to see they're going to come back down. I think we're going to test. That is a terrible line. I think we're going to test this level. I think things will come back down here. Let's take a look at what was this? This was back in November 14th, 15th, 17th. So I think you are going to see these rates again. That's where I think we will be. And now I gotta move this. The window size is wrong. So I think you're going to see these rates again. I think that after the Fed meeting, but I think like what happened now, you'll see them drop back down again. So I think rates are going to jump up right after the Fed meeting. That's just my opinion. We'll see where we end up. So, all right, my friends. Well, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you again for joining me today. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Happy holidays. I don't say that because I'm politically correct, but Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Does anyone celebrate Kwanzaa? I know that was a push, but it's a very, very low-key, less celebrated holiday. So, and it's generally considered to be, African descent, so a black holiday. I wonder if we celebrate Kwanzaa as a white guy, if I'd get like canceled. I like the concepts behind it. But I think it was created in the 60s. So, but everything had to be created sometime. Don't sleep on it. That'd still be 60 years old. So, all right, y'all. John Melnick, good morning. I hope y'all have Shannon said, what did you say, Shannon? Shannon, great to see you, my friend. I haven't seen you in so long. I hope you're doing well. I see your Facebook once in a while and your family, your son. I hope you're doing well. So, all right, I'm going to wrap up, y'all. I'll see you guys on Monday. What are you doing, by the way? Let me know in the comments. What are you guys doing on this weekend? I've got honeydew list stuff. I got to make my wife I got to finish her display for her Christmas village. Built a new whole display stand for it. So today I got to go get I picked up the little Rhino clone, UTV, I got to get the title on that switched over this morning. I'm going to go do that. So Mike's doing CE. Oh, CE. Blah, boo, hiss. But, oh, man. I hope some of y'all are doing something fun. Good morning, Jessica Wells, kind of live. You're live. You're still here. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up, y'all. Have a fantastic one. I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.